Hey folks, Michael Taylor here, your host of Theater Corner Green Room.
And I'm Catherine Smith McGlynn.
Miki Vale is an international hip-hop performing artist and cultural ambassador, playwright, arts educator, and founder of SoulKiss Theater. Her work serves to amplify community consciousness around relationships, wellness, and justice. Miki has performed, spoken, and taught at landmark venues and festivals in the United States and internationally.
For her contributions to hip-hop culture, Miki has earned a San Diego Hip Hop Honors Award, a Female Perspective Award, and the 2021 San Diego Music Award for Song of the Year for Bad Wolves, a song condemning anti-Black racism. For her work within the LGBTQ community, Miki was awarded the 2017 Bayard Rustin Civil Rights Honor. You can find her on all the socials under the moniker @Miki Vale, the MC.
Fantastic. Miki Vale, welcome to Theater Corner Green Room. This interview, this is a long time coming, so thank you so much for taking out time to sit here on the show with us. And we just finished watching this incredible production in Lieu of Flowers, which is incredibly powerful. Tell us about this amazing piece.
In Lieu of Flowers is a piece about, it basically speaks to generational cycles of abuse and how they show up in our current relationships. Oftentimes we don't see them.
Right.
Sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't. So it explores how these two characters, Grace and Shay, are navigating how they show up in their current relationship and how they work through that, or if they are able to work through that.
And so this is part of your fellowship. Could you talk a little bit about the fellowship?
Yes, I've had the honor of being one of the Dia Hurston Professional Fellows here at New Village Arts for 2025.
For In Lieu of Flowers, is this a project that you've been working on for quite some time, and then the fellowship helped you to really kind of melt it together?
Yeah, so this is the second iteration of In Lieu of Flowers. The first iteration was produced in 2022 at the La Jolla Playhouse WOW Festival in 2022. And it was a totally different production, but the same story. We had several artists. This iteration was told through music written and performed by me. The first iteration was music that was written and performed by other artists, other San Diego-based artists. When I started the Dia Hurston Fellowship, I decided for my final project that I would do a different iteration. I came on the fellowship as a sound designer, and so I got to work on the New Village Arts production of La Habana, Madrid back in March as a sound designer. And I wanted to bring the sound design element into my final presentation, but also I do a lot of other things. I'm also a playwright, and I'm also a hip hop artist, and so I wanted to incorporate all of that. And so for me, it just made sense to do In Lieu of Flowers again, but because it's my story, I thought instead of having other artists perform the music, I should tell my story through music. So I decided to do that.
And you know, I grew up understanding like blues, to really play the blues, you need to have gone through some stuff. And in this particular piece, in your piece, I could really feel like the emotions pouring through. And I guess that speaks to the fact that you're pulling from your own experiences for this piece.
Yeah, I've been through some stuff and been through it, grew through it, and learned from it.
Very nice.
So that's, In Lieu of Flowers is the result of that learning. Yeah.
You know, you mentioned something afterwards. You talked about developing practice and how the fellowship really made you hone in on that.
Yeah.
So what does that look like, and how is it different? How is that evolution of you now beginning to, you know, really codify what your practice is so that you can keep creating?
Yeah, so that's a great question. The fellowship gave specific hours each week maybe 30 hours a week. And during La Habana, Madrid, that time went toward that production, but the rest of the time it was left up to me working on my own things. And I really wanted to honor that. I really wanted to, when I clock in, I'm working on my own thing. And I'd never done that before because I do so many things. I'm over here doing something, I'm over here, and I don't have a lot of time to invest into my artistic practice, even though I'm working in the arts, but in different capacities. And I had felt kind of starved for working on my own things. So when I was offered the time, like, you have 30 hours this week to work on your own thing, I took advantage of it. And it was the first time I was able to do that. And it really helped me build the practice of getting up in the morning, I'm clocking in and being an artist. I'm doing art. I'm not teaching, I'm not sound designing. I'm working on a project that I want to work on. And that was really transformative. And I want to keep doing that. I want to keep clocking in and making it my job. I read about Maya Angelou that's what she would do. She would get up at 8 in the morning. She had a hotel room she would go to work, and she would write every day, and I think to 1 p.m. And look at all the beautiful work she created.
Right.
So I want to continue to do that. This has been really, I feel like the word transformative is used a lot, but it really truly has been that for me.
You had an incredible crowd out there today watching this performance and the amazing energy. I mean, they were on board every step of the way. How does that make you feel both as an artist, and you were sitting in the seat of a playwright during this performance?
It makes me feel amazing that when I get up in the morning and I'll go take a walk, that's my thinking space. I'll go walk in the mornings and then get to work. But I do manifestations in the morning while I'm walking. And the weeks leading up to this, I was thinking about how I want to feel at the end of it. And it was crazy to get that type of reception and be in the moment and realize this is exactly what I said I wanted. I didn't know it was going to look like this form, but I know after this, I'm going to feel exactly the way I was saying I wanted to feel after this. You never know how things are going to turn out. You never know who's going to show up, but it was just the perfect crowd, the perfect audience, and they were just so engaged and embraced it so much, and it felt wonderful. Wow.
And so what's next after this piece? I know you get something lined up.
I don't. I really don't.
You don't?
Wait, I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
I do. So I do cultural ambassador work. I work with a program called Next Level that sends hip hop artists to different countries to perform and facilitate hip hop workshops. So I've worked with them for several years, and at the beginning of this year, or the last year, I was working on a residency. I was a teaching artist with them, and now I'm a site manager, so I help produce the residencies. And we were planning to go to Grenada. And then when the current administration took over, all that work got canceled. So now they're back tentatively making plans again. So right now, after this, I'm working on a residency in Suriname. And that's, as of now, taking place in October.
How did you get to this? I mean, do you when you're a playwright, you write, you sing. Your voice, by the way, is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
You're a composer, musician. How did you come to that? I mean, how did you create Miki Vale?
I think curiosity and just being I'm a Taurus, I'm a little bullheaded. I really believe if you put something in front of me and I'm interested in it, I have to be interested first. But I believe I can do it. I'm gonna figure out a way to do it if the interest is there. So I have a lot of different interests. And it's also, theater has been a big catalyst for me doing a lot of different things and showing up in a lot of different capacities. Because I started as a hip hop artist. Well, I started as a writer, writing for magazines, for hip hop magazines, but also a hip hop artist. But when I got into theater, I saw how people move all over the place. You can do this, you can use DJing for sound design, You can write plays. You know, one of the projects that I released as a hip hop artist about 10 years ago, called The Good, the Bad, and the Lovely. It's basically a story. It's a love story, and it's the first song is them meeting. The second song is things getting a little shaky, and you know, it ends in things falling apart. But it didn't have production, you know, it didn't have lighting, it didn't have costumes. So this is kind of just a continuation of what I was already doing when I learned about theater and bringing in the lighting and bringing in the sound design and bringing in the directors. And so it's kind of, you know, it's just kind of a continuation of what I was doing already.
Do you create for your audience, or do you create for you? Is it a you know, amalgamation of both?
I create for me, yeah, and hope that it's felt. But yeah, I definitely create for me. I talk about, I think the times that I create the most are the times when I'm going through hard stuff, and that I just kind of pour it into writing, which was interesting for this because I have not, I've gone through things, but I think I kind of have learned to just kind of take things in stride. So I haven't been in a really dark space with things that have happened. But I had to go back to a place, an unhealed place. Yeah. And so some of the songs were kind of difficult to get into that place. And so it was kind of hard to write. It took me, you know, a while to be able to really tap in and go back to that space and write about what was happening during that time. But yeah, you know, just like everyone, I go through things.
Right.
Yeah. And I write about them.
I mean, if I tapped into all of mine, I'd have a double platinum album. Which of those things that you do, composer, playwright, which one of those is your space? Which one is when you're sitting in that particular role, you feel most at home?
I think through this fellowship, it has helped me see that playwriting and music combined are the thing I want to do right now. That's the vehicle that I'm really feeling right now. I teach too. Like I said, I do many things, but those things, I really push them all to the side during this time to create these things. And these things feel good. This felt great. And it was easy to push those things to the side because this felt so good. So I think definitely the storytelling and the collaborating with other people. That sometimes I get a little stressed out because I was talking about how I'm in my head by myself, just going over things over and over again, and then bringing in the collaborators. I'm just like, this is why I do this. This is, you know, they make everything so much more rich and full, and it feels like home. When we're in the rehearsal room, it just feels like this is living right here. Right. So yeah, that's creating, devising. That's the thing that I'm into right now. Yeah.
And there's a companion book, right?
Yes, there's a companion book. Yeah. So I decided to write a book, also called In Lieu of Flowers, and it speaks to things that got me through times of grief. And those things are writing plays, and writing music, and cooking in my slow cooker, and just coming up with different recipes. And I'm really proud of the recipes I came up with, and I thought everyone should get to taste these recipes. And so I included recipes and 8 new short plays and some music in there.
How soon is your book going to be available?
The book is available now, as of today, for pre-order.
Oh, pre-order.
Yeah,
okay.
and they'll be shipping out next week.
So tell us how to get it.
If you go on mikivalemc.com/flowers, FLWRZ, you can get it there.
All right. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Thank you so much for coming to our little humble show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate your talents and what you're giving San Diego. And just keep doing what you're doing, sister.
Thank you.
It's the
I
right thing.
appreciate you both.
And just keep having tragedy in your life so that we can enjoy the art
Don't say that. Don't say that.
that unfolds.
I've had enough. I have a lot of stories to tell.
Right? Well, you know, it's
I have a
interesting.
stockpile.
I love, just as an aside, I love the title and the artwork. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Because it, you know, you've taken something that's so dark and personal, and there's a blooming that's happened, I think, through it. So in that sense, you know, there is a, you know, a release. There.
Release and recovery.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, sister, for coming on to Theater Corner Green Room. And thank you for tuning into another episode of Theater Corner Green Room. And we'll see you next time.
Get your hands out your pockets, man, you better get them up. If you down with the plan, you better get them up. Get your souls together, fam, and get them up. We in the last days, you better live them up. If your peeps asleep, you better get them up. Wake them up, shake them up, just get them up. Hands high, get them up. Hands high, get them up. Hands high. Well, it's the perfect opportunity to head to the shootery. Get my aim ready to end this tomfoolery. The government is dead and religion can read its eulogy. It's up to you and me. My whole crew can see the light. So we take flight, flock to the nest, execute the plan. Infrared dots on the chest of the ones with the guns and the plots to oppress. Let's show them how we do it in the wild, wild west, huh? Yes, yes, hit them where it hurts. Hit them in their pockets, throw rocks at their church. Watch their glass houses fall to the dirt and they little fake power usurp, you feel me? This is for the homeless, the hurt, the hopeless, the ones that feel life is too much to cope with. For Oscar Grant and Amadou Diallo, all the young cats that ain't gonna live to see tomorrow. John Crawford, families living in sorrow. If you the wrong color, then you living on borrowed time. Eric Garney, Zell Ford, Kajim Powell, Jonathan Terrell, A. Bond, and Michael Brown. Too many names to list. Being black in America is dangerous. If you down for the cause, you better raise your fist. Put down the gang signs and bang some real. If you down for the cause, you better raise your fist. Put down the gang signs and bang some real.